Here we will discuss the tools, clear the techniques which are used in the biotechnology, that is gel electrophoresis to separate the DNA fragments. Clear after the after the DNA is treated with restriction nucleus, we get several DNA fragments of various lengths. But we don't all want all this. We want a specific, clear where our gene of interest is there. So we have to separate this particular DNA fragment from this whole DNA, numerous DNA fragments which has been formed by the restriction in the nucleus. And now we are going to discuss how we will do that. Clear, we can amplify the DNA. That is also a technique like polymerase chain reaction. So let us start. So now students, already we have discussed how we can cut DNA into various fragments so that our desired DNA can be separated from the other DNA segments or other part of the DNA. But while cutting that desired DNA, we are using restriction endonuclease, and we know that restriction endonuclease basically cuts the DNA at a specific palindromic sequence, which is absolutely specific for a restriction endonuclease. Now, so suppose this restriction endonuclease is cutting that DNA, clear? Well, suppose it is EcoR1. So EcoR1 is cutting the DNA where the specific palindromic GAATTC and CTTAAG is there in two strands. So their specific sequences are cut by EcoR1. So when we are using EcoR1, it is cutting wherever they are getting this particular sequence. So as a result, what will happen? The whole DNA will be cut into several segments. Here, several fragments will be obtained after we treat the DNA with the restriction endonuclease. But this all fragment does not contain the gene of our interest. A specific fragment which is present within this heap of fragments is our gene of interest. So we have to separate this gene of interest from this heap of fragments. So there we will use these students agarose gel, and this is called, so it is called agarose gel electrophoresis. Clear? Now agarose gel electrophoresis, this is a gel which is used specifically for DNA separation. There are other gels also like polyacrylamide gel which is used for separation of protein fragments. So here to separate our gene of interest, we will use agarose gel. Now what is agarose? Agarose is actually a natural polymer which we obtain from the seaweeds. Clear? So it is a natural polymer which we obtain from the seaweeds. Now what is done? So these agarose we get in powder form. Clear? It is available in powder form. Now this powder agarose is added with buffer and it is heated to 40 degrees centigrade, and then it becomes a liquid with a viscous, it is more of a viscous liquid. Clear? Now, so viscous liquid. Now if we cool it, then what will happen? It will form a gel. So when we are cooling this liquid, it will form a gel. So why it is form a gel? Because these polymer, these agarose, they are reacting to form a mesh-like structure. Clear? And mesh-like structure with a definite pore size which is regulated by the concentration of the agarose, and thus it is form a gel-like structure when it is cooled. So you can see here a mesh is formed. Clear? And these pores in the mesh give the sieving effect, and as a result the DNA, clear, can move through this agarose gel. Now this mesh size can be regulated because the movement of the DNA is dependent on the size of these pores, and that can be regulated by the concentration of the agarose in the buffer. Clear? More the concentration, the smaller will be the pore size. So thus this acrylamide gel, the mesh size can be, and another thing is done, that is length of the DNA, clear, standard DNA are also incorporated in the gel so that we can compare the length of our DNA with the standard DNA, and as a result, because we know that this is the, suppose we know that this is the length of the our DNA. So if the standard DNA is given of that similar length, then the movement will be more or less same, so we can easily identify our desired band. So you can see here, this is the setup, clear, where this is the gel within the chamber, and this is the here from the circuit has been created with the cathode at the, or negative at the region where the DNA is poured, and the positive on the other pole. So you can see here, this is how a gel is made. First of all, the glasses are taken and it is made airtight. You can see here the sides are made airtight with one side open, and therefrom the agarose which has been heated with the buffer to 40 degrees is now in liquid state, the powder agarose, and so it is in liquid state. It is poured in this chamber, and a comb, this is the comb which is also inserted, clear, till the agarose is liquid, and this comb, you can see this get inserted within the liquid, and when they solidify, these regions are left as a gap, and if this comb is taken out, this region, these gaps are called well, and there the DNA solution is poured, clear, which is to be passed through the gel electrophoresis. So this is a vertical gel, but gel can also be horizontal also. We can see this is a horizontal gel where this will be the negative pole in the circuit and this will be the positive pole, and we know that DNA has this phosphate group which impart the negative charge to the DNA. So DNA is negatively charged, and as we put the DNA in these wells, clear, they will, and since this pole is the positively charged, so DNA will start moving through the agarose into the positive part. And so you can see here, this is the chamber containing the gel. Now various lengths are made. So you can see here various lengths are made, clear, and some standards size of DNA are used so that we can compare the others with our desired DNA with the standard size DNA and can find out where the desired DNA is. It is not that these are the, it looks like this because this is the, when it is running we don't see anything, but to identify whether it has it is not moving out of the gel, some dyes are used, clear, till this the dyes will move, and when this dyes comes to here we can easily recognize that already it is now we have to stop the gel. So more or less a specified time is given through which it will run, because if it is excess then it will run out of the gel, and if it is very less then it will not move or not, the gel bands will not get separated, clear. So a specified time is there through which it should be we should run the gel, and the DNA being negatively charged, clear. So already we have discussed this DNA will move from the negative part to the positive end of the gel. So this is how it looks when we take out the gel. Nothing is visible, only the stains are there in the at the base, clear. And now this DNA, this gel, clear, after the run is over, the gel is taken out from this chamber and now it is been given in the stain, clear. So this is a, suppose this is ethidium bromide, so gel is poured in the stain, and then by UV rays, if we look at the gel, we'll find the various bands. So after the staining is over, if we put UV rays on the gel, we'll find this type of bands, but these are blue in color, they will be orange in color, clear. So this type of bands will be visible, so we can locate where our DNA is with by comparing with the standard DNA. which is acting as a scale. And finally, we have to take out the gel and we have to purify the DNA from the gel, and that is called elution.